How's it going, everyone? My name is Jet, and this is my cat Roxas. He's in a very playful mood, and he wants to be, I guess, front and center today. I hope everyone is doing wonderful. I feel like I haven't recorded or posted it in a long time, and I don't think it's been that long, but time has just been absolutely flying for me. I have been so busy, and I feel like I can barely keep up with stuff, but things are finally calming down, cooling down overall. I am very excited that it is getting warm. It actually is very, very warm right now here. I live in Arizona, for those who don't know, and it is already getting into the hundreds. We got into like 102 a couple days ago. Mind you, last week we were in the 60s. So it has been a very, very fast change of pace, which is exciting, but at the same time, I'm like, oh my God, I need to make sure I can keep up with everything, because now I know things are gonna really start to dry out pretty quickly around my space. But besides the fact, I hope everyone's been doing super, super good. I am very excited. I mentioned in the past, I think it was when I did my tour video, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna really be buying too many plants in the future. I was like, I'm gonna be too busy. I wanna save money, you know, yada, yada. So I ended up buying a couple things, and I wanted to showcase and talk about them as well too. One of them was something I've been wanting to buy for months, and I mean literally months, and I'm so excited I finally got it, because I've been waiting forever. So that one I wasn't as like guilty feeling of, but the other one was an absolute impulse buy. Other than that, I have been just super into just keeping up with everything. I fertilized, I think, everything that I have right now in my space, which has been very fulfilling. Like, I'm really excited about that. I still need to repot so much stuff, but I'll get to it. Besides the fact, let's talk about the plants that I got. So I'm gonna start off with this one first here. I actually made like a little short. If you follow me on like TikTok, or if you watch shorts on here, I did do a little one on this cutie here. This is a Platycerium superbum. I got this from a nursery, oh my gosh. Has it been about a month? Maybe a month or so? I might be off the date, but somewhere around that time. And I was beyond excited. I've been really interested in Platyceriums. You don't really find super interesting Platyceriums in stores or locally, I feel like, out here. And I am still new to them, so it wasn't like I'm trying to get anything super crazy, but when I saw this one, I just loved that it was a smaller size, it was a superbum. I've seen the more mature specimens of these, and I love them. So I immediately jumped the gun for this one, and it arrived really healthy. There's a couple little rips and stuff, but I'm very unbothered. And this new little shield frond, because I think with the superbum, if I recall properly, they do give, I think, fertile fronds, but I think they're more on the top. I shouldn't be saying anything. I don't know a lot about Platyceriums just yet, or at least the individual ones. This new leaf has been growing very wonderful. I've been misting it every other day. I haven't watered it in a while. I did end up repotting it in the same pot. When it came, it almost seemed like there was like a chunk of soil missing, and it was almost just sitting, and I didn't like that, so I wanted to make sure it was really in there. And ever since I did that, I haven't watered it. It's probably been a couple weeks, but other than that, it's been very, very interesting just to own, and just a really good experience. I have a lot of different ideas on how I want to showcase this one. Sorry, the AC just kicked on. Sorry if you hear that. I cannot turn it off because it's too freaking hot. Now you will see me like dripping in sweat super quick, and I'm not about to have that. Either way, I've been just trying to decide what I want to mount it on, where to place it in my space. I think I want to do it on the side of the bookshelf. I have room, and I have this vision, and I think it'd be so fun, especially with how small and compact this one is right now. I think it'd be a really cool way to showcase it. So my eyes see a spot, I have an idea, I just need to commit and just try it out and just watch a couple videos and go for it, just like I went for the Coca Adama that I did a while back as well too. Such a cool plant. Platyceriums are so interesting. Another thing that's fun about them, if you do not know, they are epiphytes, so they grow on the sides of trees. That's where you naturally will find them. And these things get massive, like absolutely massive. Like I don't think words can explain how big some of these species can get, especially just when they're growing out in like nature and they're getting the proper things that they need, like lighting and just the watering and the humidity and all that kind of stuff. They're just so freaking interesting. I'm very excited for this one. Once again, the Platycerium superbum. The next one is gonna be the one that was more impulsive. And of course, I'm gonna break down why I went for it. I'm gonna go grab it because it is a little bit bigger. So let me go do that. This is the plant here. This is my Nepenthes miranda. It is a type of carnivorous plant. It is a hybrid, a man-made hybrid of a Maxima and a Northiana, if I remember correctly off the top of my head. Not this specific plant, but this was my first carnivorous plant when I started getting into them. Right when I started working at the nursery that I'm at, we got these in and I was super enamored. And of course I had to learn more about them. And as soon as I started learning more and more, I knew I really, really wanted one. So I got one a while back then. I probably had that one for, we're coming up almost a year, I think maybe 9 or 10 months. And it's doing good, but I'll show that one. I'll kind of talk about what made me impulse buy this one. One of the biggest factors is when I bought this one, we just never got them again. It's been, like I said, about 9 months probably since, and I immediately saw them and I was like, I want these again. I'm missing the pictures the way they are and just the beauty of the plant itself. And I felt a lot more confident with taking care of carnivorous plants this time around. I have RO water in my space, which was, I think, a really harsh part about owning it the first time. I had to go to the store and get distilled water, and I felt like I was going through so much. It felt very wasteful to go through so much plastic like tubs, and I didn't know, I think there was a couple spots I could have gone to, but I just didn't know where I could just maybe go get a big gallon, like a 5-gallon thing, and just fill it up with that kind of water. But still, it was just a lot, so I feel like I was a lot more sparse with watering. And for those who do not know, carnivorous plants in general do not like to dry out. Like as soon as the first inch or two on the top is dry, I will go through and water it thoroughly. And on top of that, they can't receive any type of water unless it's like reverse osmosis, distilled water, or rainwater. I don't know if there's any other types, but those are the 3 that pop up in my mind. So it can be a little bit more of a pain to take care of this plant. I won't say hard, but a little bit more of a pain. So I saw it, I fell in love again, and I was like, I gotta get one of these. So I did buy one again, and just look at how gorgeous those pictures are. It's just such a fascinating plant, and it just, every time I see it, I'm just so enamored by it. So that's kind of what got me to get it again. Now I'm going to put this one back real quick and show you my other Nepenthes miranda, the initial first one that I got, and kind of talk about where it's at right now, things that I've learned from it, and just like why I'm doing what I'm doing with it now. Here is my other Nepenthes. So this is the exact same plant as the one I showed before. This is the Nepenthes miranda, but as you can see, this one has really grown, and it is super long and just kind of doing its own thing. I have it kind of wrapped around the hook there, and then I have this secondary one here, and a bunch of new little baby sprouts coming out from the center point as well. With this plant specifically, like I mentioned before, I've had it for about 9 or so months, and it's grown very long and very big, but as you can kind of see, it's not the prettiest. It has a lot of little just burnt edges. I don't have any pictures on here. It's growing very long. Some of the leaves are really big, some of them are short, and that is just a mixture of just not being able to take care of it very properly. I was very stingy with water in the beginning. I didn't have the reverse osmosis set up like I do now. I was kind of waiting a little too long in between waterings, and that is what caused, I think, a lot of general problems with this plant. When they do have pictures and you do let them dry out, you'll see the pictures will start to just droop. It's not a very pretty looking plant during that point, and a lot of the new growth suffers the most. You'll see it immediately start to crisp up and kind of brown out that way, which is, you know, a bummer. You don't ever want to see that happen, because as soon as that happens, you're not going to be getting a picture from that leaf anymore. That leaf is just kind of there. Watering was a huge thing that I was messing up on. I do feel like I was giving it enough light. It's on my west facing window, and it gets pretty freaking bright over there. So I think the lighting was okay. The other thing that I think I really messed up on was trimming. I did not trim this plant, and this is one of those plants where I think you really need to trim, only because once the picture's done, the leaf is just there to photosynthesize. It doesn't do really anything else. You can cut them back. Now, it's okay to keep some of them. I kept a lot of the bottom leaves because I liked how big they look, but I really trimmed out the center area just to allow more light to come in, because I didn't even realize, but there is a third shoot that's been trying to grow this entire time, but the leaves were so big and covering it that it was just slowly like rotting out in a sense, or not, I don't know if rotting out's the right word, just wasn't getting enough light, and so it was just going completely yellow and just kind of suffering there. And now that I've cleared it up, I can see it starting to shoot back out, which is exciting. The other thing that I think, and probably one of the more important things that, you know, I'm still gonna be learning on and really messing with, is feeding and fertilizing. I won't say these plants need to be fed to truly survive. As you can see, it is alive, but I don't have pictures. And I feel like if I do get some pictures, I feel like they're gonna be pretty small compared to what I have had in the past or what you saw earlier. So I want to start focusing and seeing about actually feeding this plant. I have read and seen so many different ways to do it. I see a lot of different options. I just need to kind of do a little bit more research and decide what's gonna work best for me, or what I think is gonna do best for the plant more than anything. That's kind of going to be my big goal this time around. I am going to be potting it up soon, hopefully. I think that's another thing that's going to help, having something with no drainage, where when I pour the water, it's going to be able to kind of sit in there and really retain all of it. I think is going to be a big help too. And of course, I have my humidifier running just in hopes to help, one, have just humidity in the space, but also two, just in hopes that it won't dry out as quick. That's kind of where I am with this one. I thought about just selling this one and making a little bit of the money back and just covering my butt that way, since I did buy that one. But I also think this is a wonderful opportunity for me to learn how to propagate a carnivorous plant, or at least like a pitcher plant or a Nepenthes. I have never done it before. I've seen little clips and videos, and I haven't really deep dived into it. So I think that's something that I'm kind of excited to try and to learn. And just to see how it goes, I have that whole spare cabinet, like I've talked about in a couple videos, or not a couple videos, it was a while back, I feel like. And I still haven't set it up, and I only need a couple things, so that might be a really good way to kind of jumpstart and get that cabinet going. But I think it'd be fun to just look up and learn and try something new with this and see how it goes. I think to be able to grow it in a more humid and more controlled environment would really help the pitchers themselves. And now that I have that RO, like little water maker thing that I have, I feel way more confident with being able to keep up with watering. Either way, I think that's what I'm leaning for with this guy, because like I said, it's so long, it's so big. I'm pretty sure I can cut this up in multiple pieces. Still need to do research, but that's kind of where my headset's at, and I think it's gonna be really, really good. That's gonna be something that we will all do together probably once I feel more confident with it, and honestly when I have the right materials, because I definitely don't have any little pots or anything like that. I can maybe use some of the plastic cups that I use for other things, but yeah, gotta figure it out, look into it. Once again, this is that Nepenthes Miranda. The last plant that I'm about to show is one that I've been wanting forever, like forever. If you have been watching some of my like first videos, I was working on a like living wall of art project, and this is the final piece to it. At least I think it's the final piece. I don't think I want to put anything else up there afterwards. But the one in question is going to be this beauty here. This is a Platycerium bifurcatum or bifurcantum. I'm not sure which pronunciation is more correct, but here it is. It is stunning. This is a very common type of Platycerium to run into. And even beforehand, we had some in the store, and I've seen them in local places, but they weren't already mounted. And I kind of just wanted just one that was mature, mounted, kind of like all the hard work was done. Because like I said, I'm pretty sure these can be a little bit more slow growing, at least in like an indoor environment. I cannot get over how amazing the shield frond is, and then seeing the fertile fronds kind of sticking out and just kind of going everywhere. As soon as I saw this at work, this was the one that like sold me. I was like, oh, I'm taking you home. We were supposed to get these a while back, but they never showed up. But finally now, months later, they came in and I immediately snagged one. So this is the final piece of the puzzle that I've been wanting for the living wall of art. I've been waiting for this one. I'm really excited. I don't have really much anything crazy to say. Other than that, it's already starting to feel dry and I've had it in my space for, gosh, only a couple days. And I'm pretty sure I watered it like right before I brought it home. So this one might be a fun one in the summer. We'll see how it goes. Let's get this cutie all mounted up. All right, so I am thinking right now, I want to go ahead and get this placed up here. I'm thinking maybe like right around here. I want it to be able to be kind of on its own so you can really appreciate it and see it. But I also want it close enough where like nothing over here, like my little air plant display and the kokedama, I want them all to feel like they're connected, but just a little bit of room, if that makes sense. I feel like it might not, but that's where I'm at in my head. This Platycerium is very lengthy, like it's already reaching all over, so I feel confident that I can kind of place it wherever and it'll have a comfortable spot, but I think I'm leaning to something like this. That way, if I do get any more types of like air plants, it's not too much of it. I think I like it here. It's gonna give me room on the bottom. That way, if I get any more different types of air plants or anything that might be a little bit more mature or longer or whatever, it still should be okay. So I definitely think here is going to be the place. So let me go get like a little marker or something and mark a little dot just to kind of set it there. All right, we have our mark there. So now it's time to get the screws and get all that going. I am just gonna put a typical like screw with a little like spacer in it and stuff and just do it that way. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm just gonna go through and drill the little like pre-hole and then put the little like weird spacer thing in. I don't know, it's like the anchor because I don't have a stud here. I'm just saying what it says on the little thing, but I'm gonna go through and do that. I probably should move the air plants? No, it's fine. I'll dust afterwards. We'll see how this goes. I'm not really handy. I did this one really good, other than the holes there. Just ignore those. I still haven't covered them up from the last time I did something here. But I did good that last time, so I'm feeling a lot more confident with this one. There is someone that I follow on Instagram, and I think they just specifically do Platycerium stuff, or like have Platyceriums, and they do this thing where they get like an empty picture frame, and they put it over the Platycerium, and it kind of eats, and I kind of think I want to do something like that in the future. But like I said, we're just gonna get it on the wall because I don't want to have it on the table anymore. My cat's been stepping on it. Like, it needs to get up here. Already not working out. Let me see if there's a stud here. No stud, so I don't know why it's not drilling in. Got it. I think I got this one pretty smooth. I think I actually did. I'm pretty excited. I'm actually getting good at this stuff, I think. Because the last time I did this, it took me so long. Like, I'm embarrassed to say how long it took me, but it took me a really, really long time. Okay, that's as far as I want to go. I just want to make sure I could still hang it. Because if I go too far, I don't think I'm going to be able to hang it properly. I don't hate it. I think I might have to walk back and check. I think the other thing too is just the way that this is set up. It's flush enough, so that doesn't bother me, and I think I have it straight. Yeah, I don't think I hate it. I think it looks okay. I feel like it's at a little bit of a tilt, and I think no matter what I do, it's going to be like that, unless I like kind of extend the screw out more, but in hindsight, I really don't want to. I'm kind of just content with how it is now. But I think it's good. It's not blocking too much on the bottom. You still get you're able to see the Platycerium. You can see the Kokedama. You can see the little air plant display. I think it's even enough. I think I'm set here. Especially too because I feel like it fills up a lot of this space and I don't feel like I need to add anything else, which was something I was worried about originally. But I think this thing is like honestly like the perfect size, especially too with my luck that the longer side is here and not on here. But yeah, I think I'm set and I feel very confident to hang it up there and it's not gonna fall down. I'm getting pretty good at screwing stuff in the wall and I know that sounds stupid, but I'm pretty hyped about it. I think this little project of mine is finally set up and done, which is really cool because this was like kind of one of the first things I wanted to do on this channel. I did it. So yeah, it's pretty freaking cool, I think. This is my little living wall of art area. I'm very happy with it. And then I have that Rapid Four that's gonna grow and it's gonna slowly grow onto the over like on top of the TV area. I'm liking my space. I'm liking my space very much. With that being the case, I think this is going to be where I end the video. I appreciate you watching and hanging out with me and just sharing my excitement for my project that's finally done. It's not anything crazy. This was kind of just me experimenting and just trying to make my space feel a little bit more unique and different and still me, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm really excited on how it's looking. I'm excited to mess with my other Platycerium, the superbum, get that mounted, do something fun with that in the future, and just the Nepenthes as well too. I'm gonna figure out how to feed that thing. I'm gonna feed it properly, and we're gonna get big, beautiful pictures, and we're gonna keep it going. That is the plan this summer. That's like one of my goals, I think. Other than that, thank you again. If you enjoyed the video, please definitely give me a thumbs up. It helps. Give me a follow, subscribe if you haven't, and share with someone you think that might enjoy the video. But other than that, I will catch y'all around next time. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you may be, and see you later.